managing it. It's my fault that I didn't get it, but I want to use it again. I want to use it again to kind of make people come back. So I think I emailed you last week for the clips. You gave
Yes.
me the posts, not the clips of the videos that you posted on LinkedIn.
Okay, so I will send you by WeTransfer again. And hi, everyone who's joining us already.
Yes, hello.
Edna and I are just catching up, and yeah, Edna and I will send you the clips themselves so that you can do what you will with them. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I can send people back to the video, the first one.
Okay. So the other thing is, I think, can you go to my YouTube channel, Edna, if you don't mind?
Mm-hmm. I'm subscribed.
And then I'm going to see. Okay, but can you open up that page on another screen? I just want to see if we can see 2 viewers. And then I can kind of keep track of who's coming in, and then I can answer their chats.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Give me a minute.
Okay. And we're just going to start.
Says one watching right now.
Yeah. That's you. That's you. Oh, this should be me too. Who knows? All right. Well, say 2 users. So now we have 2 users, you and me. And so from now on, we're going to start. So from now on, whoever connects, that's okay. All right. We're good, Edna. We're good. So what I'd like to do is, before we start officially, I'm going to, where are we? Here we are. I want to share my screen and see if I get the PowerPoint up this time. Last time I had a little bit of a challenge. There we go. Okay.
Beautiful.
So, okay, now I have a question for you. Again, before we start officially, I am just going to change my screen. Do you see the change in my screen?
I do.
Okay, so that's not good. So what I'd like you to do, if you don't mind, is go to the YouTube channel periodically and just see if there's any chat, although it should come up in the Zoom talk.
It's supposed to.
Yeah.
Do you have your chat open so you can see that?
Very good question. Very good question. Let me see. Oh, shoot. Okay, that's my YouTube. Where is Zoom? Okay, one more learning curve. I should be.
Okay, go to your regular chat, though. Go to your regular chat.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it, but
Zoom.
It doesn't show the Zoom. I know, but it doesn't show the Zoom actually on my screen. That's why I'm a little.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
We'll start in a second. We're still okay.
All right. All right. So let me see about you. Let me go back to YouTube. I'll open it back up.
Oh, that's right. I'm still sharing the screen, so you can see that. Okay. We're good. We're good. All right. So here's the chat.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Great. So there's the chat. We'll keep that open. I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint. Right. Okay. Ready to start officially?
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
Officially starting.
Welcome, everyone. This is our second session. Edna White and Donna Fields. We are so excited to be here.
Hello.
Edna. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for 1 second so that we can both say hello to you.
Hello. How are you? How's everyone? We're so excited to be here. This is our second time to be together, and we're just talking about education, authenticity. We're just doing it, helping you achieve amazing things. So we're excited to be here, and I hope that we get some questions today.
Please don't be shy. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining, and don't be shy about asking questions. If you have a question, then obviously we haven't explained something very clearly, and we need to know that, and we are really good at repeating it in a different way. Right, Edna?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So what we're going to do is, Edna and I are going to look at some ideas on what you can use in your classroom, what you can use outside of your classroom even. And Edna is a master at motivation. I like to think that I'm pretty good at changing your usual curriculum into something a little more exciting, a little more global, a little more collaborative. So Edna and I are here to look at a couple of ideas and just talk about them and see if you can see possibilities in your learning environment for them. How do you feel about that, Edna?
I feel great about that. I think that it's so very needed in my experience of teaching both ESL here in the States and as well abroad in China. I know that having that creativity is so very important and vital in order to make it stick for the students that you're in charge of or leading.
Yeah, and that actually reminds me of the one quote that I put on LinkedIn for a couple of posts. And we talked about this a little bit in the first session, but how do you respond to the idea that if an English learner is using words that could be considered offensive to a native English speaker, do we judge that person by the same criteria as a native speaker? What do you think? Because you had an experience in China that was very impactful, and you handled it incredibly well.
Yeah, I did. I think they're learning from us. That's one of their criteria as achievement. Is that they learn from us. They learn, how we speak, what we study, so that they can become more acclimated because they come here, you know, as part of their life.
Okay, sorry,
it's something
Edna.
that they always attain to. English.
Sorry, Edna, we have to stop a second. I'm so sorry. You caught that, right? You caught that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're fine. Oh my God, I told you that was going to happen. Okay.
It's okay. It's quite all right. I got it.
Okay, so sorry. That has never happened to me before. It's never going to happen again. Let's just do it one more time. You ready? Okay. Everybody, welcome. We're so excited to have our second session here. We have Edna White and Donna Fields. Edna, go ahead and say hello and explain a little bit about what we're going to do here.
Hello, everyone. Once again. I'm so excited to be here with Donna Lee Fields. She is amazing. We met over a podcast, and ever since then, we've been inseparable and really supporting each other. So I love what she represents: creativity, authenticity around education, because I can't tell you how important it was for me. And as we all can look back in our minds, every teacher that we loved was creative and affected our lives. So we want to keep that creativity going in this world of technology now. We want to keep it going for our teachers and bring out that creativity. So that's what we're here for today. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness. And thank you all for being here. And thank you for participating in our conversation, because we want you to participate. Hopefully you're going to put some comments in the chat. If we say something that doesn't make sense at first, it means that we didn't explain it well. And so we want you to ask questions. And we are really good at talking, so we will explain it again differently. And by the way, I didn't even say this to Edna. I have this bandage on my hand. I usually never hurt myself, but I burned myself really badly. And
I was like, what is it? I thought it was a shirt. I thought, how you wear your shirts over, we both wear the shirts over the thumbs. And I was like, wait, what is that? So I forgot about it because all the technology things that's going on. But yeah. Oh, so
yeah, it never happens to me. And I went to it. Burns are not simple. They are very complicated. And I burned myself just because of the heat in the oven. And at first it was really nothing. And then it got worse and worse until I was embarrassed to leave the house without something over my arm.
Oh my goodness.
So finally I went to the clinic yesterday, and they kind of, the nurse kind of gasped. That wasn't a great sign. That was not a great sign. Wasn't. So anyway, I just want you to know I'm fine. It's just that I do have a bandage. Good. And so what Edna and I are going to do, and we love doing this, we're just going to talk about a few ideas on how you can make a normal lesson into something a little more collaborative, a little more global, a little more interdisciplinary. And so we love talking it out between the two of us, and then we'd love to hear how you think that you can apply these into your own lessons. How's that?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. All right. So it's interesting because one of your comments just now was our favorite teachers are creative. And the funny thing about that, Edna, is because if your favorite teacher was not creative and very systematic, you're probably not going to like these ideas very much. Because yes, I
Well, I
like
know my
creative.
teachers were. I know they took time. The ones that I can remember that really affected my life, they took additional time, and they explained it, and they were clear, and then you were able to, be involved. So it takes being that they were really themselves. They weren't nobody any different. They were just like, I need to pour in, and that's what teachers do. They pour in to the students.
And there's one other element that you're not saying, and I know that you believe wholeheartedly, is that those teachers hone in on you, hone in on
Oh
each
yeah,
of us. And there's something, a
yes,
very personal connection. And those are the ones
yes,
that touched me the most.
absolutely.
So let's get started. Last time Edna came up with a quote that was actually really amazing, and this time it's my turn. So I love, different sort of inspirational things. And this is dream, struggle, create, and prevail. And these are for educators, and these are for people, and we all are educators. In a certain respect, we are all educators. And Edna and I ask you to be daring, to be brave, be loving, compassionate, strong, brilliant, and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's our opening inspirational message. The idea of I'm going to go over about 3 lessons today, just 3 ideas that you can put in your classroom on Monday, and your lessons on Monday. And they all have to
That's
do
cool.
with these questions. How does the task, activity, or lesson connect to my students' lives? How can my students and I, thank you, transform this activity into one with a more global perspective? And where can I let them co-create the task? All right, Edna, go. Tell me what you think about this and where could we add even more?
So, how does this task activity, and I'm going to go back to my teaching experience because that's where I can answer these. So, how does a task? Every time I gave them a task, right? So, we'll talk about one experience with we were learning about pie cooking, and that the item was a pie. So, what I did is I bought in a pie, right? Pie. I bought in a pie, and I think I had about 10 students. So I bought in a pie, and we talked about the ingredients. So I gave them all a slice. Then I asked them to tell me what flavor was. What do you think is in here? Because they never cooked. So they were like, they couldn't figure it out. So I gave them a sheet, all the things, what's involved, and they had to taste it because they never cooked. And so they would say, okay, it's this, and they would have to pronounce it. Now, in English as a second language, you have to pronounce the word or sound it out, try to figure it out what it is. Now, I'm talking to Chinese speakers in English, so they have to figure out also what flour was. So they were thinking flour, 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 because they never cooked. So one child said, "Oh, flour, the one that grows in the garden." I was like, "No, it's not the ingredient." So when I made this test so that they can start thinking in all areas, like so they think about everything, what it sounds like, what it tastes like, what it smells like, and then have the experience. I can go home and do this now. Now I'm going to think about eating. When I'm eating, I'm going to think about these items now. So I kind of made them think every time they go out. They would come in and they had snack. Okay, what's in this? Let's talk about this. And it would have a whole conversation about what's inside this that we're eating today. And they all would talk about it. So it made them think broader, like you said, globally about everything, the sounds that, what it's related to, like what it sounds like, flour and flour, just the relation of words. So I think that's really great, important for teachers to stretch their imagination and then still bring it back home for them to use on a daily basis.
And I love the idea that you brought in a pie because I live in Spain and there aren't pies here. There are no pies. You have to make up a word that doesn't mean anything to them. So if I love the idea. If I brought in a pie, they'd finally understand what a pie was.
And it's true, because a lot of the Mandarin words, right, were not, they don't have a word for that. They have maybe dessert, but they don't have for pie, So it was very difficult for the translation in their heads to kind of take place. So it would take them time. That looks great. I know it's delicious. What is it in my translation? And okay, now I got to figure out now all the other things around associated with it. When would I eat it? Is it for breakfast? Is it for dinner? And all these ideas would start popping and conversation would start. So I loved doing that, just bringing things to the forefront.
So you're talking about connection, and that connection brings up interdisciplinary subjects, and you address them authentically.
Yes.
That's our key word here. So I love that. All right. So now that everyone has an idea of how we click, this is so wonderful. I love how we see these similarly, and yet we both are adding our own personal experiences in, and we'd love to know your experiences. So you ready for the first one? You ready for the first activity, Edna?
Let's go.
Okay, so let's just assume, let's say you're an economics teacher and you have a textbook for your students, and usually you'll say to them, read pages 35 to 52 and answer the questions at the end of the unit. Okay. I want to pull my hair out, but I don't know about you, Edna. This is another possibility. And I never show these to Edna beforehand because I love her reaction right in the moment. So this is another way we can do it. It's economics, and we have the pages there, and they're colored, by the way. We can always, as many times as we can use colors, the better, because it's different than the usual. And spiritually speaking, colors have power. So it's nice to use them. And just another way to present the same information, using pages 35 to 52, write 3 concepts in your own words. Explain how these concepts affect your life or the lives of your guardians. And notice, Edna, it's really nice to use the word guardians, because maybe the students don't live with their parents, or maybe they only live with one parent. All right. Or their grandparents, who knows? And how could these concepts benefit a teenager in another country? You choose the country and specifies economic level of this person. All right. What do you think?
I love the idea. I love, for my older students, I would have a student from, the US on, well, at the time it was called, what was the name of it? I forgot. It's not Zoom, or it was before Zoom.
Google Meet.
What was it called? Oh my God. What is it?
Google Meet,
way before this. Way before.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it, but I would have a student that I knew. I said, hey, let's do this. I want you to talk to my students on this particular subject. And I love color, as you can tell. I love colors. So I always use colors. And I study, psychology of colors, because it means a lot.
Wow.
And it gets the students excited.
Yes.
Gets them really excited about what's that? What is that? It's not like a regular, piece of paper that you give me. What is that? What's that about? So I always brought color in, and it excited the students to learn, putting together how it affects the guardians. As a past co-pastor and youth director, the children always worry about their parents. They don't want to. It's just the nature of the beast,
right?
And they're closest to them. They learn everything from them. So just saying, you're talking about economics, how does not having a job or not working affect your parent? And they're like, oh God, and they have an answer for that, and it makes more sense for them, and then talking to someone of their own age, they can say, hey, yeah, what do you feel about that? They ask questions like crazy, so it's a great thing to be able to bridge the countries together, because then it brings the concept of unity, that we're not by ourselves in the same situation. We all have the same situation, but we're not by ourselves. So it makes them feel good that someone else is experiencing it somewhere way far from me, so it makes them feel good.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point, because I was not a big fan of social media, but after the pandemic and having to rely on the internet so much, I realized that a lot of people are going through traumas that are similar to mine, and that, misery loves company.
Yeah.
It's kind of horrible, but at the same time, like what you're saying is, oh, so I'm not the only one in the universe who has this hurt. I'm not the only one in the universe who has this challenge. Let's all try to, lift ourselves up together. Thank you very much for that.
And it was Skype. Remember Skype?
I still have Skype. I still use Skype. Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
It was Skype. So just so you know, it was Skype.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Does technology just fly? Okay. All right. So we did that one. Should we try another one?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All righty. So let's say you are about to start a unit on migration, immigration, emigration. And usually what you'd usually find in this kind of class is with a partner, hopefully with a partner, complete the exercises on pages 15, 19, and 25, and these will be on the exam on Friday. Okay, so you've just now inserted a whole bunch of stress in the classroom, and it's very basic. So just here's an idea of how to present the same information. You ready, Edna?
Ready.
Okay. Using the information in Unit 5, create a podcast based on the answers to the following question. What if you had to emigrate to another country? How would it change your life? And how would my life change? And include economic, geographic, language, cultural elements in your discussion.
That's great.
Okay.
That's great.
Tell me how it resonates with you. Where does it hit in your mind and your heart?
Okay. So this hits so well because wasn't a podcast. I did this in my adult ESL class in Suffolk County, New York.
Okay.
And we did a project together. They had to create something together, no matter what it was, just create something. 3 of them were together, and they would have to create something. So they would have to come up with an idea together, and had to come up with it. Then they would have to, go through the process. And we did something with each of them had to take a word. So let's say they were building a house, like they were creating a house with, popsicle sticks, right? Each piece would have to have, if there were different languages, they would have to put their language on whatever piece they were using. It would have to be written on it. I thought that was really cool. So using their language to explain to anyone in their group what that was like amazing to them. So they did that. They were like, so one guy made a backyard. He did a pool or something. So they all thought, yeah, let's do a pool and add all these things to it. And they put little pieces on what this was in their language, and they shared with each other. And then I had them, once I saw them get started, I had them, okay, now I need you to explain this project to them in your language. Just go. And like they would sit and they would, and I said, no, what did he say? They said, I heard a few words that were similar. I said, good. That's what I want you to pick up. You're more similar than you are different. And they kept doing it, and like everybody started. All they were like, "Oh my gosh, how many words they are similar?" Like everyone in the class. Like I had a very eclectic class. I mean, every language was there in my class, and they all heard similar words. So it was so good to know that and see them work together, because now the ideas are popping. Now they're having fun with each other. Now they're helping the other groups, help each other. So now they're learning a lot about the project itself, how much it costs, what the money was, how do you change, what's your money versus this money. It was just such an exchange of ideas. That's much better than, putting pressure on your other partners. Oh, we got to learn this. And if we don't get it right together, all 3 of us fail, or one of us pass and 2 fail. So it's so much pressure on them to help each other, support each other. Maybe they can't, maybe they can't support each other. Maybe something that they're learning, may not get across to another one of their partners. So it's too much pressure, and then pressure getting ready for Friday. It could be, if it's Monday, okay, but it could be, Friday, and it's like, oh my gosh, I got all these things in the middle. So now you got anxiety. So you don't want to create that. You want it to be fun. You want it to be applicable. You want it to be everlasting, that they'll never forget the project.
And what you even said last time, we were talking about a multicultural word problem, and you said, all of a sudden I'm looking at my neighbor and thinking, oh, I understand that guy now. So there's a heart connection. Yeah. And what you're talking about now is, it's not about the information. It's about, oh, that's where we're similar. I understand that group now. There are some similar things. And so what you're talking about, the stress went down, you're strengthening the affective domain, which is essential. And once you get everyone relaxed, the learning goes in. You're explaining it perfectly what the affective domain is. So beautiful. We're targeting the students' hearts is what we're doing. And then they want to learn.
Absolutely.
Okay, love that. So are we ready to go to a third lesson and a third activity?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Okay, let's see. All right, so I just discovered this book and Horatio Morgan on LinkedIn. And it was really attractive because he believes in scaffolding, he believes in collaboration, he believes in presenting things in different ways. And so I wanted to take some of his information, Edna, and just make it a little more interdisciplinary and a little more global. So you tell me what you think. He likes to play, which is what I love to do, which is what you react to so positively as a teacher and a student. So he likes acronyms, and I love acronyms. And I'm going to do it once. I'm going to go 2 steps further. So get ready, Edna, because I think you'll like this. He likes an acronym.
Now, you know that you know math is not my thing now. So, but take it easy with me.
You are going to rock the math world after this. Okay.
All right. All right. Let's go.
So this is, let me say this right, because I always forget, it's the basic math operations. It's the order of operations, which if you learn it, you have to memorize. It's one of those things you have to memorize. And if you don't, you will always get these math problems wrong, and your math teacher laughs at you, basically. Well, we don't want that. So if you remember PEMDAS, you'll remember the order of operations. I love that he's using different colors. I love that he's using an acronym.
Yes.
To me, PEMDAS doesn't really resonate in my mind. Maybe if I saw it 15 times, it would, but I'm going to show you how we can even extend this idea even further. It's like, Edna, when you're climbing Mount Everest, or you're climbing any mountain, what you do is you climb up and then you climb back down a little bit. And then you can climb higher and then climb back a little. You're always going a little higher and then come back. So you can go higher and again, and you're adapting your body. So with this, I love to push the mind, and I love to push my students a little and see how much they can assimilate. So let's just take the P. We are going to add global and interdisciplinary. P is for Peru. So when you're thinking of PEMDAS, you think of P for Peru, because in this case, I am choosing Latin American countries. And then one better still is, let's add some music.
Ooh.
Hopefully you can hear this. Can you hear that, Edna?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So I just put a short clip on here. Oops, let's stop it. But if the students see P and then Peru and then the Peruvian music, what do you think? Oh, wait, before you comment, let me just show you quickly the other ones. We have Ecuador, and then we have Ecuadorian music.
Ooh.
He's kind of a wild man here. But, okay, so we have alternative music, and then we have Montevedre, we have Dominican Republic, we have Argentina, and then we have Saint Vincent of the Grenadines. And I'm going to have to, Okay, so what do you think?
So we're integrating the cultures and the countries to keep it in your mind.
Yes.
And I love the aspect of the music, because music it soothes the savage beast. But it also helps you to remember things. It really helps you to remember things, because music is so universal. It's really so universal. But adding it to remember an acronym associated with math, ingenious. Ingenious. Now I'm looking at these, I can see the letters without you having it up. I can see it now
Oh my
without
goodness,
even
that is
having, now it
amazing.
makes sense to me.
Really?
I can
That
see it
was
without
such a
even
great
having it up.
comment.
Great.
That was such a great comment. Because I took it off the share screen
I could see
and you
them. I could see the
remembered.
letters. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And then you
That's
just
really
have to remember
cool.
what the letters mean in the math part, but
Yes, right. But I got the acronym. I got the acronym.
okay,
That's
because
what
you know,
matters. Now
especially
let's go to,
kids love music. Music is like what you're saying.
oh yeah,
Math is a
oh yeah.
universal language, and music is a universal language, and music is mathematical, actually.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that's something that
Absolutely.
was very easy for me to do, and it really made me
Mhm.
happy doing it. And I can share the other music. I didn't want to load the PowerPoint too much, so I didn't add music for each
Yeah,
of them.
yeah.
But the idea is to add music for each of them. So
Yeah,
those are the 3 lessons that I planned for today, Edna. I think that we've
that's
given
great.
teachers a lot. Now, you have a book that you would probably love. If you can bring your book on screen, we'll show it. I'm just going to show the teachers really quickly. I have a scaffolding book
Sure.
and I have an online course on the affective domain. And you write to us and we're going to give you some creative numbers for these.
Right.
So,
I'm
Edna,
trying
what
to
do you?
find which book I'm going to bring. I'm going to bring one.
Oh,
I don't know. Go ahead. Yeah. Okay, go. I got him. I got him. I got him. Go, go,
okay,
go, go.
perfect.
I got you.
Can you share your screen? Because,
I can show you my.
oh, perfect. Mine's the abundant mindset. Ooh, baby.
I can show you this
What does the
one.
subheading heading
This one.
say there, Edna?
Turn on your abundance mind. So this is about mindset has to do with abundance. And when you hear the word abundance, it seems like it's unreachable, right? It's unreachable. It's just this thing that is above this glass ceiling that we have. And it's really woo, no. Abundance means that everything that you have, you lean into it a lot more. So if you have just a meal, let's say you just have a meal, that's all you have, right? You lean into it more and you eat it with the richness of being in present, right? And you enjoy it, and the people around you, you enjoy them, and that's abundance. Because once you lean into that and say, "Oh no, beans again," "Oh no, cereal again," when you do that, you repel and you continue to feed your mind on every negative thing about abundance. Abundance has no ceiling, is ever reaching, and it's always involving you, me, everything. So that's abundance. It's like the circle. What I was shown once I started walking again when I was in a car accident in 2007. So I started to walk again about 8 months after that, maybe May or June. And so I started walking a mile, then I started walking 2 miles, 5 miles, because I had broken both of my hips and my legs. So I started walking, started to walk. And every time I walked, I would feel this circle in front of me. And you know how we used to take the hula hoops with a stick and push the hula hoop down? It would
Yes.
be in front of me doing this, right? And I
Wow.
was like, what is that? What is that? And it was abundance. And it said, and the world said to me, literally the world said to me, I am one and you are one with me. Every time I walked, that's all I said the whole time. And I got the fact that thankful I can walk. If I walk to the limb, thankful I can walk. So abundance is surpassing all of these limitations we have. That's what this is about. And I break it down so very easy. It's not as complicated as I just said it was. It's so easy. You get it, you turn it on. It's like a light switch.
Yeah,
So that's the
I love it
abundance.
because people
Right?
say abundance, abundance, but I love that you're saying lean into it, appreciate it
Lean
more, and the
into it.
universe just sort of expands, right?
Yeah, it's an expanse. It is very expansive. We go through things. We really go through. All of us have life struggles, but when we lean into what we appreciate, And I'll give you a perfect example. I was waiting for a client to pay me, and I had to pay rent. So, of course, naturally, I'm freaking. I'm freaking, starting to freak.
Fear comes up, right?
Late. Yeah, I start freaking, and then I immediately calmed down. And I said, no, this is going to work. This is going to be okay. I'm letting the universe handle this. So the property association came to my house. Now they know me really well because I'm in real estate and all that stuff. So I'm very good. I'm very good. So I have connections with them. They came to the door and they gave me a letter, and I was freaking out. And I'm like, oh God. And then I calmed down again. I had to calm myself down. But then I sat and I said, they didn't bother me for 3 months. They could have. But they didn't bother me for 3 months. And I leaned into that and I said, thank you, universe, thank you. I emailed the woman, the property manager, said, thank you for being patient with me. This will be settled in a matter of a few weeks. I thanked her. Then I had to calm myself. Thank you, Edna, for not freaking out.
Yes, we need to thank ourselves. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for not freaking out. And do you know, it worked like clockwork. It worked like clockwork. And then a woman comes up to me, she goes, I never doubted you. You said this is what's happening. You never lie. You try, you've never lied to me. And I don't doubt it. I don't doubt anything you say. And I had to lean into the fact that, yeah, I have to not get nervous. You know what I'm saying? I've done the work.
Yeah.
I do the work. All that. And limitations is the anxiety that we respond to, emotional things that we respond to things that are happening, and we really should be like, la, la, la. It's like everything's going to take care of itself. It really is if you've done the work. It's not like if I didn't do the work, and I'm waiting for a pie to drop out of the sky,
right.
or money to drop out of the sky, but
right.
I did the work. I did the work, and it's not all the time that this happens. Being a good steward is very important. Teaches about that. Abundance is being a good steward. As we're teaching you how to be good stewards of your skill as a teacher, it's being a good steward. So I can help expand that. Find us on Amazon. Find us on Amazon.
Perfect.
This is great. But I can actually, if somebody writes into you, the first person that writes into you and says, I would like that book, I'm going to send it to you to give to them.
Oh, is that an offer? That is an offer.
That is an offer. That's an offer. And I can also give you an ebook. I can also give an ebook if they like it too. So,
okay, all right. That we're gonna post because I'm gonna have to piggyback on you. If anyone writes, the first person who writes, I will get this sent out to you too, because I believe in this book and I believe in Edna's book. Yeah, baby. Okay.
Absolutely.
So everybody, thank you so much for joining in. Yeah. And we will make sure all of this is in the notes. You'll have access to this whole podcast and the resources, and we can't wait to see you next time. Edna, this has been so much fun as usual.
As usual. Thank you so much. We'll talk real soon. Remember to keep coming back for Donna Fields because she's got some stuff. I'll be watching her. Oh
my goodness. Same. All right. See y'all soon.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So this was actually very good. We have some good stuff on here. I will send you the whole recording so you can do what you will with it. And I'll also send you the shorts. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much, my dear. All right. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to get my grandkids.